I mean, you hammer home the real life impacts that we're likely to see, beyond DC, specifically looking at the communities that the National Urban League serves. What are the services that could be stopped that you're most concerned about right now? What does that impact look like?
So one would be certainly the impact on federal workers. Think about the many, many, many Americans, even in your local community, who work for the federal government. Think of the many, many people who work for companies that do business with the federal government. So that would be a direct impact that would touch all 50 states and every community in the nation. Then there's the SNAP or food stamp program, which is vital to food security for so many families. Food stamp recipients are of all races. They are of all genders. They are in all 50 states, and they are the most vulnerable Americans. Some who are very poor, some who are poor because they're transitioning between jobs after having been laid off. That community could be detrimentally impacted. And then certainly there are those who may receive housing vouchers or Section 8 vouchers who rely on that to pay their rent. They could be directly impacted. So our communities, the most vulnerable Americans, certainly will bear the greatest brunt. But let us be clear, they are not the only ones who feel the impact of a government shutdown.
How's the Urban League working with some of these communities you just highlighted to provide a contingency plan? I mean, the hope is there is no shutdown, but if that's the case, there's really nothing that points to what that timeline looks like right now.
So the most important thing we can do is join with those who are advocating, those who are pressuring, those who are loudly saying to members of Congress, be responsible, do the right thing, particularly that small group of right-wing members of Congress who are provoking this shutdown by holding the political standing of Speaker McCarthy hostage, if you will. But secondly, we know that if there is a shutdown and people are in pain, they will come to Urban League offices all across the nation. Our ability to serve that onslaught is limited. We administer programs for the federal government. So we obviously are concerned that those programs and those services may be interrupted. We will do everything we can to assist and sustain communities, but make no mistake about it, millions and millions and millions of Americans could see their fortunes directly impacted in the event that there's a shutdown.